tears are rolling down like a river to the ocean, and there's no one else around. You won't question my devotion. Everybody needs somebody, and you got me. You know that I know that you know that I'll be there for the highs and lows. Give you mine if your heart gets broke. By your side when you're all alone, I will be there. When you're down and down on your luck, no ride home and you got too drunk. 2 a.m. I'ma pick you up. I will be there. I'll be there, I'll be there, I'll be there for you. I'll be there, I'll be there, I'll be there for you. When you're down and down on your luck, no ride home and you got too drunk. Whoa, I'll be there, I'll be there, I'll be there for you. Yeah.
When your heart could use a break and it's too broken to reopen, I'll be patient, I will wait until you're ready to be open. Everybody needs somebody, and you got me. You know that I know that you know that I'll be there for the highs and lows. Give you mine if your heart gets broke. By your side when you're all alone, I will be there. When you're down and down on your luck, no ride home and you got too drunk. 2 a.m. I'ma pick you up. I will be there. I'll be there, I'll be there, I'll be there for you. I'll be there, I'll be there, I'll be there for you. When you're down and down on your luck, no ride home and you got too drunk. Whoa, I'll be there, I'll be there, I'll be there for you.
I'll be there for the highs and lows. Give you mine when your heart gets broke. By your side when you're all alone, I will be there. When you're down and down on your luck, give your all but it's not enough. Take my hand and I'll pick you up. I will be there.
I will be there. I'll be there, I'll be there for you.
I'll be there, I'll be there, I'll be there for you. When you're down and down on your luck, no ride home and you got too drunk. Whoa, I'll be there, I'll be there, I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you.
Welcome to our class. The song you just heard is played for you from me. You are a part of me, and I will always be there to help you. You may call me, send me an email, do whatever it takes, because I care about your success in our class. CCJ 1000, Introduction to Criminal Justice. Let's look at this module's objectives. We'll review the assignments. That's usually what I do in every module, every live classroom. I review the assignment because I want you to succeed. Identify criminal justice system flowchart. If you're in the criminal justice system and you haven't seen this flowchart yet, this will be your first viewing of it. But I encourage you to download a copy of it and save it. We'll do a quote about the late assignment policy, which is also found in your course syllabus. We'll review the assignments. We'll quote the academic integrity policy. We'll quote artificial intelligence or the AI policy. Next, we'll discuss Module 1, police officer application. And we will review a current topic. America is experiencing a police officer shortage. I wonder how many of you will venture down that avenue. Do you want to be a police officer, or do you want to be something else in the criminal justice system? Let's look at the criminal justice system flowchart. Start from the left. When the crime is committed and it was reported or observed. They start the police investigation. Some are solved, some are not. Continue on down. We decide if it's a felony or a misdemeanor. There's two different routes of felonies and misdemeanors. The felonies are the time. The misdemeanors. We also see the flow chart, the juvenile offenders. Continuing on down this flow chart, you can see what happens at the different stages. And at any time, the defendant may leave the criminal justice system. Next, let's watch me first assignment. Let's comment on it. You should read this first. See how many points it's worth. A brief description. You also see the start attempt button. That's what you would push. And then you move into this police officer career simulation. When you're here, you'll click the start button. I encourage everyone to complete this by the end of today. Let's look at the late assignment policy. There's two items that I put in bold print. Assignments due in Module 1 must be submitted no later than 7 days after the due date to be created. Once you get past that, then we'll go into the other module assignments. Those assignments must be submitted more than 7 days after the due date, will not be graded, and will receive a 0 in the grade book. So stay on task, complete this course, engage, and most of all, have fun learning. Let's look at the summative assignments. We have a course project to complete in our class, and you see a description of the summative assessment. I'll give you a minute to read. Next, we want to look at the course schedule. I love this icon they put in your course. We're trying to let you have some fun while you start learning about the criminal justice system. If you click on those different tabs right in this video, put in your course, you'll be able to advance to all 6. Module 1, Project Overview. Designed to stimulate and simulate various tasks that you'll learn. Give you a minute to finish reading that. Next, keep in mind that we have 5 modules. Actually, we have 6, but the one where you have an assignment is in those 5 modules. So let's look at the module assignments. First one, Module 1, Police Officer Application. You'll be reading an email addressed to your sergeant. Get out, find out the name of your police officer sergeant. Who is he or she? You're starting to open the door, especially if you want to go in to police work. It's never too early to start that work. On the next slide, you'll see the following requirement elements for Project 1. Subject line, explain the evolution of the criminal justice system, primary purposes and duties, and a conclusion to the email. Now, all this information is inside our course shell. You can always go beyond what we see in the course shell and include additional information. Do that, especially if your department is a little bit from what is included in the course shell. Module 2, you're going to be writing a criminal statute report. And the items you will address are these. For every live classroom, I always focus on the assignment. You have your readings in your course, but I want to add more depth to each of your assignments. I want you to know up front what I'll be looking for. Module 3, you're going to be doing a PowerPoint. Please keep some PowerPoint rules in mind. Write minimum amount of text on each slide. Use the notes section in PowerPoint. You should use keywords and phrases on the slide. But what you would show when you're doing your presentation, what you will say, type that in the notes section. And these are the items you'll be addressing. Module 4, case presentation. What items do you want to include? You have 3 items. Module 5. And the items you should include in Module 5. Next, we'll review the academic integrity policy. Please be original. Please cite and reference your sources. Please limit your direct quotes to 1 quote if need be, and do not make it a long quote. We do have academic integrity enforced in our class. I've always looked at your percentages, plagiarism, as well as AI. Let's look at the AI policy. I'm a good fan of AI. I think it's very useful. But at the same time, it's not always accurate. Start with AI, brainstorm with it, get some ideas, do some research. But don't just copy and paste from AI. Remember, your plagiarism and AI scores will be reviewed. Module 1, Police Officer Application. You will apply for a role as a police officer in your local community. As part of the application process, it will be assessed on my ability to write professionally, accurately, and logically. In this scenario, for Module 1, you will write an email addressed to your sergeant. So find out the name of the person in your department. Perhaps you have more than one sergeant. What sergeant would be receiving this, and then include that name and contact information. Topics will be addressing evolution of policing and the purpose and duties of law enforcement, the courts, and corrections. Some key things to include in that email are here. Now I'm looking at item number 4, conclusion to the email. What would you include in the conclusion? Since you're not here with me, I encourage you to post your response to that question. Now that you've shared your thoughts, here's some additional tips on what to include in the conclusion email. Remember, we're writing an email. We are not writing a major paper. So as long as you cover everything, you've said it all. You'll stop. Write your conclusion. Remember, if you ever have any questions, please reach out to me. Let's take a minute and review the grading rubric. I always encourage you to look at the very first column labeled Mastery, Advanced, Exceeds, Achieved. You can see the point spread, and you can see what will be evaluated for each. Include your name and purpose of the email, along with 5 traits listed and how the student demonstrates them. Then we'll look at evolution of explanation and what to include, your police component, your courts component, your corrections component. Now, like as previously stated, information is in our course on all these items. Go above and beyond. Do more than what's expected. You will rise in class, and you will also rise in society. If you just step back and take the easy way out, you'll have problems advancing your career. Since I was an undergrad, which was a few years back, I always used more than one book to complete an assignment. When I started seeing overlap in different sources, I know I had read enough, and it was time to write my paper. But the reinforcement of things being repeated just helped me retain the information. So I never relied solely on the textbook. I would include other sources. And perhaps that's why several awards. Now we have to start looking closer at the criteria. We will start with the subject line. So it's worth 20 points. You clearly include the name and purpose of the email, along with 5 traits listed and how you demonstrate them. Now look at this one. Use headings in your paper. Our assignments must follow APA 7th edition formatting. And part of that formatting includes headings in your paper. Headings are 3 to 5 words. You start with your title heading, and then when you want other headings in your paper, those main headings will be aligned left. And the purpose of those headings is it lets the reader know what information follows. Now, I encourage you to use headings in all your papers. First of all, it is an APA report. Second, I don't want to miss anything that you really want to share with. So if you include headings, I can see this. I see your information. Headings help me. I can find it. these headings. We primarily use headings 1 and 2. Heading 1 is the title. Heading 2 of 3 to 5 words. Evolution explanation. This section is worth 15 points. Thoroughly explains the evolution of the criminal justice system, demonstrating a deep understanding and providing comprehensive insights. Now, in Module 1, you'll see a section devoted to the evolution of the criminal justice system. And then you'll also see 3 tabs. One for law enforcement. Click on where it says the courts. You'll see additional information. And then you click on the tab that says corrections. You'll find additional information. Then we're going to drill down even further. First one, police component, worth 15 points. Clearly explains the primary purpose and duties of the police within the criminal justice system, showcasing a comprehensive understanding. After we finish the police, by the way, these might actually be good headings to use. 3 to 5 words. I left. I see it there. You're full scores, right? I would be able to follow you, or in this case, follow your email. Then we turn to the courts component. It's also worth 15 points. Clearly explains the primary purpose and duties of the courts within the criminal justice system, demonstrating a comprehensive understanding. Then we have another component, and that's corrections, worth 15 points. Clearly explains the primary purpose and duties of corrections within the criminal justice system, demonstrating a comprehensive understanding. And then finally, your conclusion. Your conclusion is worth 10 points. You will summarize key points effectively and provide a strong conclusion that reinforces the purpose of the email. Now watch out. Use some of the available tools. For example, I encourage you to use Grammarly. That's one tool I use when I grade your work. We also have the plagiarism checker embedded in each assignment, so please be original. Before we go, I'd like to address a current topic. Why is there a shortage of police officers? America is experiencing a police officer shortage. Why? Can you think of some answers? Share those with us. Next, we're going to view a video. Why is there a police hiring shortage?
From firefighters to public school teachers to sanitation workers, public sector hiring has seen a steady decline since the start of the pandemic. But there's one profession that's become a particular concern nationwide: law enforcement officers, and the hiring woes have been building for years. A survey of police departments in 2019 found that nearly 80% of agencies reported struggles with hiring qualified recruits. Half of the agencies said they changed internal policies and qualifications to get more candidates.
Large departments and small, in urban and rural. I think we've seen this problem growing steadily over the last, say, 10 years or so, but it really ramped up post-COVID.
4% fewer officers were hired in 2021 than in 2019, and departments across the country saw 47% more resignations and 19% more retirements in 2022 compared to 2019, according to a survey of police chiefs by the Police Executive Research Forum. This has been a particular problem with the New York Police Department, whose officers have been targeted for recruitment from other cities. Metro PD ads can be seen throughout New York Transit subways, promising signing bonuses and moving assistance to D.C. The chief of police in Aurora, Colorado, traveled to New York to try and directly recruit officers to fill his 50 vacancies, promising lower cost of living and higher starting salaries.
Some states have added a recruiting bonus to out-of-state applicants who are already certified, which they're all interesting ideas, but when we're taking from one agency to another, we're not solving the problem, we're just moving it.
Police departments across the country have been paying hundreds of millions of city budgets on overtime pay, especially as crime rates continue to creep. The overtime led to overworked officers and resignations.
Overtime was a big issue. And I mean, many officers, a big part of their salaries comes from overtime, particularly when you have shortages, you're on shift and like, oh, I know you just worked 8 hours. Is it possible you stay over on the midnight shift or stay over on this shift? How can we expect our officers to not burn out, provide us the best service when we don't support them with mental health, physical health, and provide these type of mental welfare breaks?
And lastly, a huge hurdle for hiring and retention has been public police perception.
Don't we understand why there are some incidents and issues that happen in our profession that are absolutely inappropriate and tragic and criminal in some cases, and they have to be dealt with? In impact, they're huge, but in volume, they're very minor compared to the number of incidents and interactions police officers have on a daily basis.
Declining trust in law enforcement can lead potential recruits to stay away from the academy. Widespread availability of body cam videos and high-profile incidents of police brutality, including the murder of George Floyd, have created generational divides in the perception of policing as a career, according to Pew and Gallup research data.
When I started teaching at the university as a graduate assistant, and this is just like 2017, 2018, I'm asking people who wants to be a police officer in my course, in my Police in America course. Maybe about a quarter to a third would raise their hand. I asked that question just this last year, and nobody raised their hand.
Experts say hiring shortages can lead to agencies shrinking training windows or lowering test qualifications in order to fill crucial vacancies. Some chiefs of police express concern that to fill vacancies, they risk becoming a so-called second chance department for officers that were dismissed elsewhere for misconduct or even criminal activity.
And I've known officers who got fired from one department and then gone over to another one because they've got the training, they've got the post certificate, they can hit the ground running. And so departments said, well, we'll take a chance on them.
A number of departments have responded to the hiring shortages by dedicating more funds to competitive salaries. Others have lessened low-level requirements for the academy, like no tattoo rules or easing restrictions on prior marijuana use. But ultimately, many insiders say in addition to improvements with wages, benefits, and work-life balance, there has to be a more fundamental cultural shift to address the lack of trust and support.
You know, what you really don't want is that hard-charging kid who believes, that guns are the answer.
If you promote for running and gunning, guess who would be the leaders and chiefs 20 years from now? And you keep the cycle going, it makes it even more harder for people who have different mindsets and different skill sets to come into the police force. Community-centered policing, where you're rewarding officers properly for this type of work, really comes in, and that's the best recruitment effort that you can have.
Amber Strong, Scripps News.
So we can find out about the policing shortage in videos, and we can also find out about it by reading the survey results. For example, I'll provide the link to this International Association of Chiefs of Police 2024 survey. In this document, you will find some key findings, which includes these: recruitment challenges, retention issues, operational impact, success strategies. So what works, what doesn't? Customized solutions. What works and what doesn't work varies from one community to another. And then it ends with the conclusion. So what recruitment strategies would you recommend? Please share your thoughts in the open discussion forum. I read this interesting passage. Finding excellent employees has become a challenge for police departments. While this issue isn't exclusive to law enforcement, our profession is experiencing it the worst. There's no magic formula that can solve this dilemma. What one community does to be successful does not always mean that that can be tried in a different community. Our greatest dilemma is getting our governing boards or commissions on board with recruitment and retention. Not only do we need to attract them, but we also need to keep them. Until the media and other high-profile organizations change their attitudes toward law enforcement, we will be ground zero for negative publicity. As department members in this is to continue to do the good, work our communities, expect of us, and work diligently to attract quality candidates to join us in this noble profession. Yes, we have a few bad apples, but we try to weed them out before they contaminate all officers. Some recruitment strategies. Financial incentives and non-traditional benefits. You see any that might work in your community? Here's some more. So what recruitment strategies do you recommend? Please share your thoughts in our open forum. Now, before we go, what did we cover? We reviewed the assignments. I identified the flow chart. I quoted the late assignment policy. We reviewed the 5 module assignments. We have the academic integrity policy and the artificial intelligence policy. I am a strict enforcer of plagiarism and sole use of AI. If it's detected, your grade will plummet. So please be careful. Remember to use citations in the body of your paper and references at the end. For every reference you include, I should have a citation in the body of the paper. Thank you very much for watching. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you.